Good morning, everybody, and God bless you. Today, I want to speak about embracing the singleness, embracing that single season that you're going through right now. Maybe you've recently gotten out of a relationship, maybe you've never had a relationship, maybe you were married, got a divorce, whatever it may be. But truly allowing this time of singleness to grow you in your relationship with the Lord, and truly allowing this time of singleness to grow you as an individual. It is so important to really embrace this season of singleness, because if you don't, and if you live in the mindset of I need to be with somebody, or if you're out there just chasing people around, it is going to lead you down a path of not being able to become the partner that your future partner deserves. And it's going to lead you down the path of also putting yourself in situations where you settle for less than you deserve as well. So there's very many negatives about being desperate, being impatient about a relationship, and just settling for things that are less than you deserve, or maybe even you're just not compatible together with that certain individual. And this is something that I've really learned how to embrace personally a lot recently. I've been single a majority of my life. When I was in high school, I had crushes on women, and even post high school, I've had crushes on people. But for the most part, I've been single for most of my life. I've had a couple of small relationships, and then one reasonable relationship, more serious, but even that one was very short term. And the biggest thing that I learned from that relationship especially is we moved so quickly, and I was not ready for so much of it. So much of it I was not ready for. And also, after that honeymoon stage, after you get past that honeymoon stage, you start to realize the actual quirks about each other. Because everybody has their quirks, everybody has their pros and cons, but when you move too quickly and you put too much commitment right away, that's when you start to realize things about each other, but you've already committed a lot of promises to each other, a lot of time and energy, and a lot of love to each other. You've already committed these things, and you've made these commitments, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months down the line, you're starting to realize y'all aren't even compatible with each other. And that's where you just really, really, really have to take things slow. And that is where you need to put in the work right now on yourself during the single season. And I guess I can mostly speak for men, because I am a man, I'm not a woman. But men out there who are not particularly in the right place right now to be in a relationship, really, really, really just work on yourself. And I'm not saying that you have to completely avoid women. That's not what I'm saying. I do think you need to have a certain level of pursuit always when you're walking in your single season, because you never really know when the opportunity is going to come for you to be with somebody. You could meet somebody at church, you could meet somebody at the gym, at the library, at work, that you actually end up becoming really good friends with, and that you're actually very compatible with. But instead of chasing them around like a lion would chase their prey, maybe just become friends with them. Get to know them as a friend, and build a relationship with them as a friend. Because the best part about that too is when you hear the word girlfriend or boyfriend, it literally is what it is. It's a girl who's a friend, or it's a boy who's a friend. You don't have to be in a relationship with somebody to make that distinction. I could have 10 girl friends but be dating nobody. That's the truth. And now I don't want this to be a video where you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go have 10 girlfriends and you go lead on 10 girls. No, that's not what I'm telling you to do. What I'm saying is you need to remove this need for gain. You need to remove the need for gain. You need to remove the need for getting something out of it. And you just need to befriend people. Just be friends with women. Just be friends with even men if you're a woman watching this video. And everything will just flow naturally after a while. It really will. Because another thing too is if you're a man and you befriend a woman, maybe that woman's not the particular woman for you, but best believe that woman probably has female friends that she will eventually connect you with. And maybe she's just not a romantic connection, but that doesn't mean she's not going to add value to your life. So I think the biggest thing in the single season that I personally am going to give you advice for on this video today is just really embracing the singleness, and not necessarily using it to be completely isolated either, because I do think it's important for us to have human connection, but you don't necessarily have to have that romantic human connection in order to find love and companionship. And I think that's the biggest reason why it's so important to avoid living a lustful life and living that lust lifestyle, because if your head is so stuck in lust and in the flesh, you will go down a path where you are restricting yourself to only talking to females or males, depending on if you're a male or a female. You will restrict yourself of only talking to these people looking for gain, whether it be sexual gain, whether it be romantic gain. You're going to restrict yourself to, I need to find my wife, or I need to find somebody to sleep with. But when you're not living in the flesh, when you're not living in lust, and when you're just truly looking for human companionship, you don't even really necessarily care as much about a relationship. Because once you remove that need for another person in your life, once you remove that idol, and once you remove lust as well, and it doesn't mean you're not going to struggle with those things a little bit. You might just always struggle with those things a little bit, but I'm talking about major struggle that's like uncontrollable with that stuff. But once you remove the need for those things, you're gonna find yourself in a situation where it's so much easier to just be like, oh, hey, what's up? Do you wanna go get coffee with me? We can go, our schedules are both really busy, so we can go get coffee in like a week or two. And you go out and you get coffee with this girl, and it's a great time. You have a great time. Maybe you're only able to see each other once or twice a month at that point in your life, but maybe it's a really good connection. Maybe it's a really good friendship. It's just not really at a point where you are ready to be in a relationship. That is so much healthier than just jumping into something where it's like you're not even ready, but you're just doing it to do it. And neither of you are ready maybe, and you're just trying to find love for each other rather than finding love for yourself and the Lord. And sometimes good things can come out of that. I'm not saying that everything is a disaster if you go too quickly. I mean, I'm sure there's people that have been happily married that got married in a month or two, but in a lot of cases, I think it's best to just truly get to know people. And besides that too, when you really think about it, it's like, at least in my case, there are so many like beautiful women out there. There are so many beautiful women on the inside and on the outside, more importantly on the inside. It's good to be attracted to your partner, and I think that's important too, like physical attraction, but trust me, it doesn't really get you anywhere long term if they are physically attractive, but they're ugly on the inside. And when somebody's ugly on the inside, they can change, but you're not going to be the one to change them, most likely. Like, most likely you are not going to be the one to change them. The person that's going to be able to change them is God and themselves. A partner is not going to be able to change them very easily. Normally, honestly, I feel like the best way for a partner to change a person is by leaving them and giving them some consequences to their actions. And I've actually had situations like that myself where I've had people leave me, and it's really been a big wake-up call, because it's like, well, they didn't want to put up with that, and now they're not a part of my life anymore. So the next time I meet somebody, I have to be better. And but when people don't reap consequences to their actions, they don't have much reason to change. But yeah, I guess this is what I wanted to talk about in this video today. I hope that y'all can get something from this word. I'm kind of just, the whole entire point of these videos is I'm kind of just letting it flow, and that's where we're going. So God bless you all. Please like and subscribe and share with your friends, and have a wonderful day. God bless you. Amen.